Welcome to the AmeriFirst AmeriTrust Speaker Series. My name is Craig Olmstead, and I'll be your host for today's event. Our speaker series is growing each and every month, and we want to thank all of you for that growth and wanting to invest in yourself. Please check out our landing page and register to find out about upcoming speakers at AmeriFirstSpeakerSeries.com or AmeriTrustSpeakerSeries.com. Today we're using the Zoom platform and encourage your questions throughout the program. Please type in your questions in the Q&A section below at the bottom of the screen. If you're on a cell phone and you'd like to ask a question, please send an email to consideritdone@amerifirst.com and we'll be sure to get those answered for you. We are in for a special treat today. Michael Maher is CEO of ReferCo, the world's leading authority on referrals. Michael became a realtor in 1999 and in his third year closed 187 transactions, netting him $1 million, based almost exclusively on referrals. You will hear his story in a minute, but after a life-altering event in 2007, Michael knew he had to write a book on his knowledge of referrals. In 2010, 7 Levels of Communication was published, and within days, it was a bestseller. In fact, 7L has been the #1 bestseller for 8 straight years in the real estate sales category, and he has done that without any advertising or marketing, only one way, and you guessed it, by referrals. For a few of our viewers today that ask Michael a question, we have some autographed copies of his #1 bestseller, so get those questions ready. Today's panelists asking Michael questions are Ron Burgum, President of the Southwest Division, Mark Jones, President of AmeriFirst, Dave Game, CEO of AmeriFirst, Doug Long, President of the Southeast Division. Michael, thank you so much for being with us today. And Ron, I'll let you get started with the first question.
Thank you. Honor and privilege to be here, and I apologize for the tech snafu to get started. So great to be on.
Michael, you're safe? Okay, welcome. Good to see you, buddy.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show. Hey, listen, for our listeners, can you just start off by giving us a little bit of your background? Tell us about how you got into this game, how you got into real estate, and then more importantly, what's the why behind writing this book, The 7 Levels of Communication?
Yeah, so long and short of it is that I was teaching mathematics at a high school level, coaching 3 sports, and in the summer of my 3rd year of teaching, I wanted to invest in real estate. I knew wealth was mostly attained through real estate, right? So I decided to get my real estate license so I could learn how to invest in real estate. Well, obviously, I didn't learn how to invest in real estate. I learned how to pass a test. So I got into real estate right after buying my first home. And so I caught into it, and I was about ready to get out of the business, to be honest with you. I was about ready to quit in a couple of months. Because it just wasn't what I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be fun. I thought it was going to be a lot of learning, and what I got was it was a whole lot of bothering people, distracting people, interrupting people, and you know, the traditional sales techniques. So it wasn't for me. And then I accidentally got a client. I played semi-pro softball for 12 years. I played on a softball team, and I literally got my first client as follows. We were in between games of a doubleheader, and one of the guys on my team basically goes, "Well, Michael, I guess we'll work with you." And that was how I got my first client, was with that resounding endorsement. So I worked with Davey and Vanessa to help them buy their first home. And honestly, Davey, the only reason he was working with me is because of team camaraderie and team spirit. He wanted to take one for the team, so to speak. But I helped them find a home. We found a fantastic home, and you know, I'm younger, and I get paid from the closing, and so I had a lot of money. Right, $6,000 was about a fourth of my teaching salary at the time. So I just earned $6,000 over the course of helping. And I had a lot of time because I didn't have any other clients. So I threw a housewarming party. You know, what do you do when you have some money and a lot of time, right? You party. So I threw a housewarming party for Davey and Vanessa about 60 days after they closed. At that party, I got 11 referrals. It was a phenomenal occasion. I discovered that, you know what, there is a place for me in real estate. And honestly, I was fired up. 11 referrals turned into 40 referrals, turned into more referrals. In my first year, I got 100 referrals and did 37 transactions. My second year, I did 87 transactions and got over 200 referrals. And then my third year, I had momentum really working for me. And I did 187 transactions for 40 million. I netted $1 million. I grossed 1.35 million in Kansas City, of all places, you know. And interestingly enough, I got discovered by a guy named Howard Brinton, who had a list of about 100,000 people, and we did an interview like this. And after the interview, my email, my phone, everything blew up. Everybody wanted to know, how the heck are you getting 500 referrals in an industry where we get 3 to 5 a year? So I would tell them the housewarming party strategy. I would give them what I had about the home court advantage, networking stack, all my strategies, but I knew I was giving them an answer, not the answer. So I knew I needed to write a book so that I could just give them the whole answer. Well, like a lot of people who need to write a book, I didn't write a book for 2 years. And then on December 18th, 2007, I flatlined. I had knee surgery on the 13th. You know, if you get nothing else from this whole interview, don't have surgery on the 13th of the month. I'm just throwing it out there. So I had knee surgery, and then 3 days later, I checked in. I had these terrible pains, like I couldn't catch my breath in my side, and ended up the next morning, December 18th, 2007, I flatlined for 37 seconds. I had 3 blood clots in each lung, 1 that passed through my heart. I literally heard my own heart flatline. And I went from really unmotivated to write a book to really motivated to write a book in about 37 seconds. And that night they took me down to ICU, and in intensive care at Olathe Medical Center, of all places, I outlined on a napkin what became the 7 levels of communication. And a couple of years later, it was finished. And then, you know, it became a bestseller in 7 days. And then it's been #1 for 8 straight years. And that kind of brings us to today.
Wow, what an amazing story. When you said you flatlined, I assumed you meant your business had tanked. I didn't realize you were talking about your physicality. Wow, that's just an amazing story. And appreciate you sharing that with us. Michael, I'd like for you to share with our viewers how the 7 levels work. Now, I realize that they really need to buy the book and read it to fully understand it, but could you give us some high-level principles on how it might work for someone?
Yeah, so what we do is at ReferCo, we help businesses build event-based businesses on a foundation of love, generosity, and appreciation. But and what I said right there, when you unpack it, is really, really powerful. But it is one of those where it's not fluff and stuff. It's not BS. We're not going to be at the end of this call holding hands, singing Kumbaya, right? Love is powerful. Generosity is powerful. Appreciation is powerful. And having events that focus on love, generosity, and appreciation is powerful. It's strategic, it's tactical, it's practical. So the heart and soul of the 7L system and the generosity generation is that back in the day, the way to do traditional sales was the ego era, right? It was basically, and I'm gonna probably be crude, and I may even insult some of the people who are listening and watching this. And it's just, you know, basically sales forever was built on preying on the weak. That's what it was built on, right? What is hunting? Hunting is preying on the weak. And what I mean by that is you would do calls until you found somebody weaker than you, and then you would convince them to work with you. Unfortunately, that person that's weaker than you would go into passive aggressive mode, and they would be looking for a way out or looking for a way to complain about you. And the thing is the traditional salesperson, they gave it because they overpromised with every hunting excursion, with every conflict, every call. And you know, when you overpromise, all you can do is underdeliver. So it's always been kind of preying on the weak. But the problem is social media happened, and now there's a lot less weak. because they have the power of numbers. When they speak, they can now tell 400 people about the jerks, or they can tell 4,000 people about the jerks. So this entire business model is not based on ego era strategy. It's based on the generosity generation. And the consumer has changed. It used to be find me, find me, sell me. That's what it was forever. Like hunt me down, find me, and then convince me you're the best, or convince me you're number one. Well, the consumer changed to a new aspect, a new mindset. Their new mindset is now hear me, help me. It's hear me, listen to me, listen to what I have to say. I have a voice now because of social media and because of the way the world is now. Hear me, listen to me. I mean, really listen to me, and then help me. Even if you are not the solution, help me find the solution. If somebody comes in, they don't have a great credit score, we're not like kick them to the curb. That's the old days. What we're going to do is we're going to give them to a credit restoration center that they can trust. So we're going to hear them, listen to them, and help them. So it's a mindset shift that you've got to go from this ego era to the generosity generation. And you've got to be in this aspect of always giving value. Give massive value first. We have 3 principles within the generosity generation in the 7L system. The first principle is give first. You can hashtag these, you can put them on social media, whatever you want to do, but it's hashtag give first. Give massive value first. And that aligns with generosity. Generosity is giving massive value first. And there's power in that. The power in giving first is that what happens is people want to reciprocate. Now, you can either give first or give second. The more powerful position is to give first. So give first. And then the second thing is give thanks. What's going to happen is reciprocity is going to happen. So we then need to give thanks to those that, and we have 35 strategies just on appreciation. And please notice how this pillar, this principle, aligns with the appreciation strand of our business. And then the third principle is give back. So give first, give thanks, give back. And give back is give to someone who may never, ever be able to reciprocate. Give back, give back, give back. And please notice how this aligns with love. So we help people build their businesses based on love, generosity, and appreciation.
That is so powerful. Thank you for sharing that.
Wow, Michael, that's outstanding. You know, you gave us a really good view of the generosity generation, and you described your book as a love story, which I think is so cool, because it genuinely is. I love that. Inside of those, inside of the 7Ls, you talk about something that I really found very appropriate for the call, the folks on this call. And I'd love you to touch base if you can, or touch on these. And it's the 3 Cs, the 3 Cs of referability. And I think that is so paramount to understand that foundation. Give us tell us about the 3 Cs of referability.
So the first thing that we have to do is we need to be referable. Like, you know, people ask, or they ask on Facebook, which is such a great place to ask really personal questions, but they're like, what's my purpose? Like, what is my purpose in life? And I'm going to tell you what your purpose is, in my opinion. In my opinion, human beings' purpose is to be referable. It's to be referable. And what does that mean, right? It means you need to be known, means to be liked, be respected, trusted, the whole 9 yards. But here's the other part of this too, is why did you start a business, right? You started a business because of a passion, or because you had to, or by default, or by design, whatever it may be. But the thing is your business's purpose is to be a referable business. You need to be a referable person, and you need to build a referable business. Otherwise, what are you doing as far as business? If your business isn't referable, are you taking advantage of people? Are you not servicing? Are you looking at it as a numbers game? So being referable is everything. So the answer to this question, hopefully, is impactful for everybody listening, because your purpose is to be referable. And so to be referable, we need some guidelines, the 3 C's. The first C is character. You've got to be full of integrity. You've got to be ready to be respectful and full of dignity for others. You need to respect others and honor others. You need to honor yourself. And the thing about character is you got to exclude money from your decisions when it comes to people. You've got to help people. You've got to help people. And you've got to make the best decision on behalf of your client or behalf of the other person in your partnership, whatever it may be. So character. And honestly, that's not a big challenge. We do hear about the occasional negligence or something, but those are so rare in realtor and lender world that, you know what, I'm preaching to the choir. You are the ones of character, and you're on this call, so you probably are the ones of character and always looking to learn. The second C is competence. You need to be good at something. You need to be so good at something that people respect you for your competence. And my thought is, if you're not getting referrals and you have high character, but you're not getting referrals, then you really need to look at your competence. How good are you at the contract? How good are you at the application and the loan programs if you're a lender? So be competent, but don't just be competent. Set a goal of mastery. Be the best at the tools of your game. If the application is part of your game, be the best. If the contract is part of your game, be the best. Be the best at real estating. Be the best at lending. I mean, like the best. Like everybody comes to you for advice, including real estate attorneys. That's when you know that you have achieved a certain level of mastery in competence. Then the third one, and listen, we don't have a problem with competence in general. Sure, there's people that complain about the competence of realtors and lenders and so on and so forth. But the truth is, the complaints at NAR, our National Association of Realtors, are not about our competence. The number one complaint is the third C. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the differentiation strategy that costs you nothing, maybe have cost you millions already. And that is communication. Communication is the third C of referability. Master communication, not marketing, not lead generating, master communicating. So be a master communicate. There is no such thing as over communication. Communicate, communicate, communicate. And guess what? The communication will lead to more business than you've ever dreamed of. And communication will lead to your business being a referable business.
Well, Michael, thank you very much. Hey, you have this program that includes learning secrets of the most referred professional in the world. Now, I know a lot of people need to get into your program, but can you share a few of those secrets with us?
Sure. First of all, I wrote an entire book on them. There's 135 strategies in 7L. I encourage you to get 7L. You can get it at thebookonreferrals.com. And so there's a lot of secrets, right? And the thing about these secrets is none of them are secrets. That's the beautiful thing, is they're known to everyone. And in fact, I would say to everybody that's listening to this, you know what to do. You know what to do. It's just do it. You need to do it. You know, repeat after me. I know what to do. You know, it's like, I know what to do. It's just a matter of, are you scheduling it and getting it done, right? It's like, get it done. So some strategies here. I will tell you, you can get referrals through social media, right? There's social media posts that we share a lot. You know, have your friends rank themselves on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1, they're never going to sell, and 10 is they need to sell today. And just have that as your Facebook post and see what happens. If they write anything less than a 10, then you say, hey, listen, what would it take to make you a 10? If they put a 10, then you say, hey, is your house on the market right now? And then you PM them and hopefully get an appointment. So you can get referrals on social media. You can get referrals through phone calls. And one great phone call is what we call the day before the birthday call, not the day of birthday call, and not a post on Facebook birthday post. We're talking the day before the birthday. You are going to call them. You can even use slide dial if you're familiar with that technique. but you can call them and just wish them a happy birthday the day before their birthday. So it goes something like this. Hey, Ron, hey, wow, you know what? I noticed that I've got appointments and I'm going to be out of town all day tomorrow, but I could not let tomorrow come and go without acknowledging your special day. Tomorrow is your birthday. And you know what? I want to wish you the happiest birthday ever. I hope that you have a phenomenal day tomorrow. Happiest birthday. And I hope your next year is your best year yet. And you know what? I could have shot you an email or a text, or I could have posted on Facebook, but you know what? I thought our relationship was special enough and big enough that I give you a personal call. I hope you have a wonderful birthday. Have a great day tomorrow and celebrate the whole week. Have a great one. Click. That's the day before the birthday call. I can tell you what it is, or I can just model it. You know what I mean? So, and by the way, there's no scripts here. I'm like in an office all by myself looking at blank walls. So the other thing too is that, you know, you can get email through, you can get referrals through email, and your emails really need to be centered on adding value and finding different. So I have a Google alert for all the big players in my world, what I call ambassadors. When I get a Google alert from Michael Carucci in Boston, I just got one this morning. I will look at it. Is that really Michael Carucci that I know? And it's like, oh my gosh, yes, it is. He just listed a $35 million mansion. So I email Michael and I say, hey, Michael, that looks awesome. And that's it. And then he replies back with, man, how do you do that? You know, and essentially, this is the cutting articles out. Remember that cutting articles out strategy from 30 years ago in sales and so on and so forth, where you look in the newspaper, you find a friend, you clip the article and you send it to them. Guess what? Google Alerts makes that a whole lot easier. So I'm going to do it through email that way. But I'm going to tell you something. The number one way, okay, so you can get one referral through social media. You can get one referral through agent referrals. You can get one referral through email, one referral through the phone, whatever it may be. But how do we leverage and scale referrals? The answer is events. The answer is events. That's why at Referco, we help businesses build event-based businesses on a foundation of love, generosity, and appreciation. There's no greater way to show your love than an event. There's no greater way to show your generosity and help people be generous than an event. And there's no way for people to show their appreciation or you to show your appreciation than events. And they used to be called client appreciation events or client appreciation parties. By the way, we never use the word client in our title for any of the events that we coach. And we're running about 10,000 events a year now. That's what our coaching clients are running per year. So none of them are called client appreciation events or client appreciation parties. Listen, you don't want a client to feel excluded. You want friends and family. That's what we call them, friends and family events. You want friends and family to attend. You want your referral sources to attend, even if they're not a client. So, and the difference is this. With a lot of the different things we can do, we can get one strategy. One-to-one is very important. One-to-one is very important. Develop your ability to build a relationship one-on-one with the phone, the email, one-on-one meetings, phone, and so on and so forth. But here's the thing. You also need to develop a one-to-many approach, which is what events do. They're leverageable, scalable, and let me read you some of these numbers from the last few events. So I don't want to read the first one first because it makes it instantly unbelievable. I'll tell you So 8 referrals from their very first event ever, 7 from their very first event ever, 23, 29, 32, 60. That was the number that I just got, but I didn't want to read it first because they're like, somebody got 60 referrals in one day. Yeah, 60 referrals in one day. Ladies and gentlemen, I could read you tons of these, but how about 148 referrals in 2 days? Cynthia Bear in Atlanta got 148 referrals in 2 days. And ladies and gentlemen, she got 50 of those from strangers. What if you had a system powerful enough in your pocket that strangers would go from not even knowing you to referring you in a matter of hours. And that's the power of what we're building here.
That's a great first round of questions. Thank you, Michael.
That's the first round? Oh my God! I'm on the hot. My butt is on fire. That's great.
I know. No, this is really appreciate that. I just want to remind everybody. I know you mentioned where they could find your book, but here's the book right here in my hands. I'm about 3/4 of the way through it. We got about 10 of these signed for anybody that asks a question. So be sure to put some questions in the Q&A. I know the panelists have another round or so, but we'll get some books out to people, and so get those questions in. So with that said, let's fire up round 2, Ron.
Hey,
Greg, real quick, Ron. I don't mean to interrupt you. You know, never interrupt the CEO, right? I mean, it's like that's rule number 1 of life. But you know, I just have to say on here is, listen, we're not perfect. You know, and in fact, part of our referability is our vulnerability, transparency. And you know what? We have a lot of people who run events who get 0 referrals. They get a lot of goodwill and they so on and so forth. But we judge the events by the number of referrals you get. So I just want people to know, listen, we're not infallible. We mess up, we screw up all the time. So it's not perfect. But you know what? It's based on love, generosity, and appreciation. And when you aren't perfect and it's based on the right things, people forgive you a lot faster. And in some cases, it makes you far more human and more referable to screw up. And hopefully that's my excuse for us starting 5 minutes late today.
Probably you were actually getting 35 referrals today. That's why you were actually late.
Thank you.
Hey, first of all, I want to give a shout out to Ron Garber, who actually connected this whole group together, and part of that, you know, the generosity generation. And a big shout out to Ron Burgum with Ron Garber as a partner, and a lot of love for you, Ron. So, hey, Michael, there's a detail here that's very specific, because I think people can tend to, so we got the book, right? So 7 levels, it goes back to 2010, inspired from 2007. But we talked about this the other day, that's mastery of that one-to-one connectivity. And the way that I look at this, when you start talking about the next step, what if someone's not good at the first step? So making that phone call, writing that handwritten note, right? Doing the one-on-one with the customer. To me, talk about, you know, do we skip that step and jump right to, you know, events without mastering that first step? I want you to talk about that.
Yeah, that's a phenomenal question. These are some of the best questions I've ever received, and I'm not even joking. And because they're coming from such different perspectives and angles that, you know, usually it's one-to-one when you do these type of Zoom interviews. So I will tell you that, here's the thing. What if I told you the best direct mail piece you could ever send? Would that add value to this call? The best direct mail piece you could ever, what if I told you the best phone call you could ever make? Would that help? It's better than the day before the birthday call. What if I told you the best email you could ever send to your database? Would that be cool?
Yeah.
If I did that, yeah. What if I told you the best social media post you could ever post? And then what if I told you the best thing you could ever mention at a one-on-one to get referrals? And then I start listing these things. Like, what is the best thing you could ever do in a video? Everybody's on video right now. What the number 1 best thing you could ever do in a video email or video text? What if I shared that with you? And then it's like, yeah, that would add a ton of value. Everybody's looking for the holy grail in direct mail, the holy grail on phone calls, the holy grail. Well, what if the holy grail for all of those was one thing? How powerful would that be? It would be the unifying solution to referrals is what it would be. And listen, it is the number 1 best reason to contact your database for anything is an invitation to an event. It's an invitation to an event. So if you're struggling with phone calls, it's because you don't know what to say or what your reason is to call. But what if your call was specifically to invite them to an event? Hey, listen, I'm doing this event on Friday. It's called Freaky Friday. We're doing it on September 13th. We'd love to have you on Freaky Friday. It's going to be 4 to 6 p.m. We're doing it at Freaky Joe's Bar. And I know it's typically Joe's Bar, but this Friday it's Freaky Joe's Bar. We're doing Freaky Fridays on September 13th. Hopefully we're bringing everybody a bunch of good luck that night. I'd love to have you there. Click. Postcard, 8.5 by 11, sent in a colored envelope, just like out of 7L, right? Best ever direct mail piece is going to be an invitation to an event. Email, hey, listen, we're getting together for Freaky Fridays on September 13th. Want to come? Boom. So there's a power in knowing what to say. And the knowing what to say is inviting a friend to an event. We can all do it, but the power is it's attractive. It's attractive. Is there any word that is more attractive than the word invite? I'm inviting you to meet with me. So it's very powerful. And I have to throw this out here, right? Never ask for a referral. Never ask for verbally for a referral. In fact, our whole business model with ReferCo and the people who follow what we talk about in the generosity generation is we will never ask you for a referral. Our business is not about making you feel awkward. Our business is about making you feel awesome. So we're not going to make you feel awkward by asking you for a referral. We're not going to do that. But listen, I want you to know something. Just because we're not going to ask you for referrals doesn't mean that we don't want and need your help, want and need your business, want and need your referrals. We do want and need your referrals. We do want and need your help and your business. In fact, our business would be out of business if you stop coming to us and stop coming to us for help. But the thing is we're never going to ask you for referrals. We don't want you to feel awkward. We want you to feel awesome. Every time you interact with us, you're going to feel awesome.
Do you actually say that?
I just did.
I mean, is that what you're taking? So you say that to the customer?
I do. That's
Okay.
right. I tell them that in the buyer's consultation, listing appointment, in ReferCo. We do it in our initial consultation to let people know, listen, you're in Catalyst now. Welcome to the team. Welcome to the community. Welcome to the generosity generation. But I want you to know something. A, you're never going to ask for referrals. B, we're never going to ask for referrals verbally to you either. And we just want to get it straight from the get-go, that you're never going to have to ask verbally for a referral within our system. In fact, we do not allow it. Can you imagine a referral event where everybody's asking for referrals from every other member at the event? It would be the most awful event ever. But guess what? No asking for referrals at the event. You're there to learn. You're there to meet people. You're there to connect. And guess what? We have the most awesome events ever.
So Michael, this is Mark Jones here. We've got a bunch of questions stacking up in our Q&A, so I'm going to forego my next question and we'll jump right into that. I'm going to read the first one off here that came in through the Zoom chat, not through the Q&A, so make sure we don't miss it. It's from Darcy Oliveira, and she wants to know, can you give us some examples of some of the types of events you're talking about?
I'll tell you. So my question,
I will take over after this. So.
Yeah, I would answer that question with a question with Darcy Oliveira. Here's the power of the 7L system is, Darcy, what are you passionate about? What do you love to do when you're not doing real estate? You love roller coasters? Then do a roller coaster event or do an event at a theme park. You love Lion King? Have a movie theater event with Lion King. Whatever that's the beauty of this is we don't want you to do our events. I mean, I could list 10,000 events. I love you latte. We love you latte. Thanks a latte. Happy hour, wine and cheese, wine down Wednesdays, Thirsty Thursdays, Freaky Fridays, First Fridays. I mean, you name it, we can figure it out. And an event is 3 people or more, right? You've heard 3 is a crowd, right? 3 is a crowd. So look, it doesn't have to be 300 people. In fact, I don't believe that should be your goal at all. We have people within our system who just had 650 people at an Avengers movie day. You know what? I get it. That's what he wanted to do. And he got a lot of referrals from it. That's good. That's what you wanted to do. We say do the events, but you're in charge of what event you want to do. Go with your passion, Darcy. What do you love to do? Cinco de Mayo? Do you want to do a Cinco de Mayo? Do it. But I'd say, hey, maybe look at Cuatro de Mayo. Or what's 4? Is that cuatro? Uno, dos, cuatro. No, uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco. And you know what? I took 4 years of Spanish in high school. I should totally know this. So Cuatro de Mayo. Don't be afraid to do it the day before as a warm-up for Cinco de Mayo, because the Cinco de Mayo, people are probably going to do a lot of those anyway, but you could do a warm up. I don't even know what day is May 5th next year. You could very easily do it May 4th and have a lot of fun with it. And you're ahead of the curve. You'll notice a lot of my strategies are, how do we do something first? Because you can either be first or last. Oh, wait, no. If you're not first, you're last. Ricky Bobby. I'm just saying, once you hit a Ricky Bobby quote, you know that you've got a good Zoom.
Tuesday is the answer to your question.
Tuesday, yes. I don't know. Yes.
Perfect. Perfect. I took 4 years of Spanish as well. I got about the same. I can count to about 10 as well. Debbie Panchal, Michael, has asked, I read your book and passed it on to a friend. I love the idea of the one-on-one neighborhood expert. I struggle as to what value I bring to the people I would invite to lunches or coffee.
Yeah.
If they aren't ready to get involved in real estate, where is my value to them apart from just getting to know their business?
Craig, that's such a great, her name was Debbie, correct?
Yes.
First and foremost, Debbie, thank you so much for reading 7L and spreading the message. Thank you, because that is 100% of the sales of 7L are people like yourself who are handing it off, spreading the message and telling other people to get it. So first and foremost, thank you. Here's the thing, is there are 7 T's of generosity, and I'll go through these very, very quickly. And I want you to know, Debbie, you have enormous value. See, the thing that we need to remember right off the bat is that we don't need trinkets or items of value or delivering ketchup and mustard in July, right? We don't need any of this stuff where you are using these things as an excuse to get with them. But the problem is the people aren't asking for ketchup and mustard. They're not asking for these things. They're not, so it's really not of value. And so why is that all done? It's because we think that we need something of value to deliver. And here's the thing, you are the item of value. You are the gift that you give every single day. You don't need to pay for leads. You don't need to pay for things. You know what? You need to receive. You are the item of value. You are the gift. And we need to remember that. So there are 7 gifts of generosity that we are able to give others. Only one of them includes money. So one is thought. And I will tell you, one is thought, and this is thought and plus action. You got to take the power of a handwritten note isn't that you thought of someone. It's the fact is you thought of someone when they weren't in the room and you took action on that behalf. And when somebody gets that note, there's a lot of value to that because you thought about them when you weren't together and then you took action on it. Here's the other thing, is prayer is powerful. Prayer is powerful. Prayer can move things, but it's prayer plus action. So the first T is thought plus action. The second T is talk. You can talk about others. You can spread the word. You can have, here's the thing, you can meet with somebody in your neighborhood, find out what they do, make sure that they do it well, and then you can talk to others about how great your meeting was with this plumber, with this contractor, with this lender, whatever it may be. So talk is very powerful, and talk is the second thing you can do. And I will tell you, that's a really powerful one that we underestimate because it's easy to champion a champion. You may want to write that down. It's easy to champion a champion. What that means is that when you champion other people, when you champion another person, what happens is you become more attractive. So let's say you're at a networking group and Debbie, you champion Cindy on her program. And you say, Cindy's program's the best. Cindy's wonderful. She does a great job. Everybody else that's at that networking event is, yeah, they want to meet Cindy, especially if their program matters to them. But you know who they really want to meet? They want to meet you because you just championed Cindy. And the beauty of that is they're thinking subconsciously or consciously, oh my gosh, if I do a good job with Debbie, she is likely to champion me like she just did Cindy. And guess what? I want to build a relationship with people who champion others. All that's happening subconsciously, but you become more attractive by championing others. And more people will champion you the more you champion others. So talk is powerful. And then the next one is talent, right? You have a talent. You have a talent for business. You have a talent. Maybe you have a talent for something else. Like I have a talent in coaching baseball. I have a talent for coaching football. But the thing is you have multiple ways that you can help people that don't include real estate. What are those competencies that you have? You may want to list those as a follow-up to, are you the de facto IT person for your company? You know, you have value. You have talent that you're bringing to the party. The next one is treasure. That is money. You can give to others money. You can buy their product. You can buy things for other people. Listen, treasure is one of them that you can definitely do, right? Treasure works. And then the next one is, the next three are just very, very powerful, right? And one of those is team. And this is the one I executed on. Your team is of value. And when you think team, you need to think your community, your database, the people you know. When you come to a one-on-one, you're not just coming alone. You're coming with the capacity to help of your database, of your network, of your team. So when you come to the party, you're coming with a lot of value. The new ABC, the old ABC is always be closing. The new ABC, always be connecting. Always be connecting. Always be connecting people to your team. When you connect to others, 3 people win, including yourself. The next one is teach. And this is so powerful. Teach another. You have wisdom that you can exude and put upon other people. And the beauty of the teach as a gift of generosity or of a value you can give others is that when you are teaching, 2 people are learning. You are learning more about the material you are teaching. You will take more ownership of the material you're learning today if you promise to teach it. The person who is learning from you is also getting a ton of value. So teach. And then the last one, which is the 7th T of generosity, or the 7th gift of generosity, is time. You can give your time. If you have nothing else, you do have time. You can stand next to someone who's hurting. You can hug someone who's hurting. You can listen to someone who needs to talk. You can literally, the time that you get in today's world, perhaps the finest gift of generosity is your attention. If the attention span of today's world is a gnat, it's 7 seconds. You paying attention more than 7 seconds is giving value. Those are the 7 T's, the 7 gifts of generosity. And I didn't think I was going to remember all those.
Michael Maher, rewriting the ABCs. I love it. I love it.
That's great.
Thank you, Debbie. Debbie inspired that. You know, Debbie, you can give great value by asking great questions. And I will tell you, the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your questions. Ask better questions, get a better life.
Michael, that was super rich stuff. As I'm listening, you sound like your entire life is predicated on the law of the harvest. You reap what you sow, and man, everything is about the other guy. That I've heard you say, the gift is in the giving, and powerful stuff. Another question from one of our viewers, Juanita Biles. Good question. Her question is, handling rejection is never easy. What's your strategy for that? How do you handle that?
Avoid it. Avoid it, right? I know that sounds weird, but the thing is what is rejection, right? Is rejection about you, or is rejection about them? 99% of the time, rejection is about the person who's doing the rejecting, not the person who's getting rejected. So, I mean, the thing is I'm married. I reject all women and men out there, except for my one wife. I have one wife. So just to clarify that. So it's one of those where it's like, listen, I'm in a position of rejecting everybody, right? Because of where I'm coming from. So the fact of the matter is they just don't need what you want, and that's okay, right? The problem is maybe they don't know enough about what you want. But I have to tell you, I have avoided rejection my entire career because I work a referral-based business. When I go to a referral's house to list their house, they don't reject me. When I am connected to another human being, they don't reject me. That's the power of what we call the triangle of trust. It is, how do you avoid rejection? Do you want rejection? It's so funny. I think some people get high on rejection. I'm just going to call 100 people and get rejected today. Woohoo! you know? And it's one of those where like, no, here's what we're going to do. Garb's a great example, right? Ron Garber got me on this call. And how did I meet him? Through Howard Brinton. Isn't it funny how the really influential names of your past are always there? And Howard Brinton introduced me to Garb, who introduced me to Ron Burgum, right? Thank God for that. And so the thing about it is that I could have went to Ron Burgum and AmeriFirst directly. I could have said, hey, I hear you're doing these leadership calls. I think I should be on. And Ron Burgum, would instantly, not on purpose, but he would instantly decrease his value of me being on the show because I approached him directly. But because Garb, and then we did some conversations, and then it was Ron's idea to have me on this, not my idea, then it was more powerful. Hopefully it's working out for you, Ron. But the thing is that is one of those where the triangle of trust. I got Dave Ramsey's endorsement on my book. If you look at my book, I don't have anything in here. I'm sorry. There you go. At the very top is Dave Ramsey's endorsement. I got that through implementing the triangle of trust. Instead of going directly to Heath Herzog, who works for Dave Ramsey, I went to someone I knew who knew Heath. And Stephanie Evelo out of Indianapolis, Indiana, hope she's on, I love her. She introduced me to Heath. I built a relationship with Heath. I had a book, 7L, that I was looking to maybe have Dave review. Dave does not endorse books. I don't know if you know that. He's endorsed less than 5 books in his career. So guess what? He looks at it. He sent me 42 things to change in the book. Do you know how many things I changed in the book? 42. Because if Dave Ramsey says change 42 things, you know what you do? You change 42 things. So, but the thing is I didn't get them by going, I could have emailed, hey, Dave Ramsey, hey, Dave Ramsey endorsed my book. And it would have been like, who the heck are you? But I used the triangle of trust to get a warm introduction. So avoid rejection. How can you avoid it? Get a warm introduction.
All right, cool. We've got another one here from Tony Fitzgerald. It says, as a lender, I love to champion my agents. Unlike agents working with one or a few lenders, we have to work with many that we love and value. How are ways we can champion the agents in an effective way that won't hurt the other relationships and that they all feel valued?
So that's the age-old question, right? So you need to find out where you can partner with each of them, right? You're going to be able to bring different value. Notice the 7 gifts of generosity, the 7 T's. They're going to need different. Some of your partners are going to need leads or lead generation or whatever it may be. And maybe you partner with them on events. And that's how a lot of our lenders, I was just got off the phone with Mark Moore. He did 57 million 4 years ago, and he's on pace to hit 150 million in Atlanta this year. And he did one-on-one coaching client of mine personally. And so what was it? He partnered with them on events. I mean, that's his entire strategy. He doesn't pay for leads. He doesn't do any of these other things. What he does is he partners with them and shows them how to run events, the way we do it. And that's generated a lot of referrals for them, So it's like, do you have a strategy? Here's another one, housewarming parties. So a couple of your 10 or 20 mortgage professionals that you want to work with might be really interested in doing housewarming parties for their buyer clients. Then you have that opportunity to partner with them. The thing is you're going to bring different value to each of those. The core is stay in high character, stay in high competence, and make sure you stay in high communication. Hope that helps.
That's a great answer. I want to go to a question that's may seem the obvious, but I think you need to address it, which is from Cynthia Anna. If I said that correctly, if I destroyed it, I apologize. It says, if you don't ask for a referral, then how do you get people your way?
Well, people need to know that introductions, connections, and referrals are important to you. So the fact of the matter is that you need to have conversations about referrals, not ask for referrals. So a conversation about referral is asking who they would like to be referred, or asking who their ideal client is, or asking another professional, hey, listen, who can I connect you to? Or asking another professional, hey, listen, if somebody's talking in a social setting, how do I know they might be a really good client for you or a good connection for you? So always be looking to refer them, and that will lead to referrals for you. The other thing too is, remember, we're having events. We are hosting these events. Events lead to big referrals. So you're going to get referrals at these events. The power of an event that you don't have one-on-one, the power of an event is there's this thing called like plus like equals 2 loves. If like plus like, if you have 2 people who like you and you meet with them one-on-one forever, they may not refer you as much as they should because they just like you. But at an event, when you get people together, they're like, oh, I like Michael. Oh, I like Michael. Oh, we both like Michael. Isn't he great? They turn around, they leave the event, they're both more empowered and emboldened to refer you because they see somebody else loves you as well. So the fact of the matter is we need to communicate with our army, right? The army of ambassadors. The army of ambassadors. We need to communicate with our army of ambassadors in a way that lets them know that we still want their referrals. We still want their introductions and connections. So communication is the key.
Okay, so 2 questions that are similar. I'm going to ask them both at the same time. One from Christy Gonzalez. Do you have any ideas about co-partnering with charities or any thoughts around that? And then Debbie Trowbridge wants to know, what kind of event would you suggest for a new mortgage loan originator?
All right, those are similar questions, but boy, I'm going to have to work on that bridge. So here's the thing is don't have an event without a charity. Boom. That's it. Just write that down. Don't ever have an event without partnering with a charity. How hard is it to add to your invitation, to your email, to your video, something like, hey, listen, we are collecting blankets for pets, vets, and other people. So do me a favor. When you come to Freaky Fridays, bring a blanket. When you bring a blanket, you're going to be helping pets, vets, and other people. And the bottom line is, listen, you've got a blanket somewhere around your house that you're not even using, so bring it. So every event has 3 components. 3 components. Every event that we run. There's an entertainment component. It could be the biggest component. It could be comedy night. It could be a movie day, whatever. There is an educational element. Yes, even at a movie day, there needs to be an educate them give them something that they didn't know before. Make sure it's something they don't know. And then the third thing is the charitable component. We are in the generosity generation. I'm telling you that people will work with you. They will refer you simply because you partnered with a charity. So guess what? Partner with a charity. It doesn't cost you anything, and everybody wins. You win. Everybody who brought something wins, and the charity wins, and the end user, the pets, vets, and other people also win. So it's a win to partner with the charities. So no matter what your event is, if you, let's say you're just doing an event for charity, like Nicole Aldaz in Arizona, she did an event to raise used equipment for people who couldn't afford baseball equipment. Well, it's all charity. Well, guess what? She added an entertainment component. She added an educational component with a guy who taught a couple of lessons on baseball, and huge win, right? Ice cream, baseball expert, charity, big win. So if I'm doing my first event, if I'm a lender, I believe in maybe partnering with a realtor on your first event. First of all, you're going to have more people there than just you. Now, there's a couple of answers to that question. This is really hard to coach without kind of delving into them personally. But the thing is number one, you need to have a launch party. What do businesses do? They work so hard, they put their shingle up, they get with the chamber, and they do a groundbreaking, or they do a grand opening. Why don't mortgage professionals and realtors do grand openings? Mostly because they get into the business by default, but that's another story for another day. But the thing is, if you were going to design your own business, you would do a grand opening or a launch party. So do a launch party and tell people how jazzed up you are about giving them money.
That's excellent. Hey, I know we're getting close to the top of the hour. Got a couple more questions, love to get in. Jim Gaffney has a question. Jim Gaffney asks, please talk about your handwritten card model and what best comments would be for the PS portion of the signature to capture the attention or get more referrals.
All right, seven steps to a power note. Use unbranded cards, use blue ink, use the word you as much as possible, avoid me, mine, I. You're going to be specific with your praise. There is something called the power of positive projection. Is the more you write positively about other people's strengths, it becomes a strength in you. And then write rightly, which means write your handwritten notes so that they slope upwards and to the right, like your growth of your sales. You want your growth of your sales to go up and to your right. Write their name on the upper left, start right below it, and aim for the corner of the card in the upper right, and that will give you the right angle for writing rightly. And then the last thing is the plus of the PS. And the PS is your call to action. You know, in every interaction that we have with other human beings, there's this unquestioned question. That unsaid question is, what's next? What's next? What can we do next together? Well, the PS is your what's next. So an instance of me writing a handwritten note, I would say, had an idea, period, give me a call. And then I would put my phone number. Or had a thought on what we talked about, give me a call, and then my phone number. Or shoot me a text right here. Or if, let's say I don't necessarily want there to be future, I would say, hey, listen, I'd love your feedback on referco.com. Go to referco.com. It's brand new. We've done some new stuff. I'd love your feedback. Just email me, michael@referco.com with feedback.
Michael, awesome. I want to make sure we have a second. I know you have a big event coming up.
I do.
And take a minute now. Tell us about that. Just give us some information about what you're going to be doing.
Well, first and foremost, thank you for asking. This event is called Referral Mastery Summit. You can go to referralmasterysummit.com. It's in Atlanta, Georgia. Everybody on here can fly direct to Atlanta. Thank you, Delta. So here's the thing, is that what you're going to do is come and meet some of the best referral minds in the world, but that's not the best reason for coming. It's because of the outcome. You are going to walk out with a 52-week, broken down week by week, yearly appreciation plan and a yearly ambassador program for you, for your database. For your 2020 will be done as far as your database, your maximizing referrals, and you will know when you leave. Imagine how good Thanksgiving will be when November 14th, 15th, and 16th, you're in Atlanta and you are done with your business plan for all of 2020. It's a 52-week plan broken down week by week, your events, what you're doing, and you know that what you're doing is maximizing the referrals from your database. You drive by someone you know's house and it has a sign in the yard. Instead of getting mad or frustrated, you're like, you know what? I did everything I could. I did everything I could. How great would it feel to have peace of mind about where your next piece of business is coming from? Listen, this is not hype. This is not, listen, but you want to know how to run an event? Go to a Referco event. And we're going to show you how to run an event, but we're not just going to model it for you. We're also going to teach you exactly how to maximize your 2020 for referrals. So referralmasterysummit.com. We'd love to have you. It's high energy, a lot of fun.
That sounds like a great event, Michael. And if anybody wants that information, send an email to consideritdone@amerifirst.com and we'll get that information out to you. Really appreciate that. I have one last question. This is from Craig Olmstead. He says he knows you're a football fan, and he says something about Chiefs, Falcons, or Patriots, and wondering who's going to win the Super Bowl, Michael.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
A rough few years. So
I can't believe you did that.
I feel for you, my Vegas friend. So here's the thing, right? So it's Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl this year, right? So the Patriots had their fun. The Falcons had their chance. And now it's time for the Chiefs to have their chance. I think this is the year, and I will be there. I will be there to root on the Chiefs. So, every year it's a battle with the beloved or otherwise Raiders. So, it's all good. At least you're a fan, right?
Hard knocks. I know. I'm a suffering
Raven fan.
We
right?
have many
long-suffering fans.
Lion fans here in Michigan. We don't dare hold up the big blue lion because they just disappoint us.
I have two words for you: Barry Sanders.
Oh yeah,
the greatest.
We now call him.
Get him out of retirement.
Kansas boy. He's from right down the road from me.
Yeah.
Michael.
All right, Dave.
Awesome.
Dave, why don't you bring this to a close?
Yeah, I will tell you, the lessons we've learned today just scratched the surface for sure. The process, the methodology, the way you come at it about making it, it's about the gift. Again, I said it earlier, you say it and I keep hearing it. This is a love story. This is about the other guy and you've made an art of it. I would highly recommend, guys, his book. You know, we don't hawk products here. We're not. I think this has potential to be life-changing, and I think it's something that we need to really learn more and more about. So, cannot tell you how much we appreciate having you on, sharing with our referral partners, with our origination teams. Really blessed to have you here, man, and God bless you, and thank you for sharing from the heart.
Absolutely,
I would like to echo all the things that Dave said and add one thing. Your energy level at presenting this is infectious. So thank you.
Leveraging, right? It's generosity, energy.
I love it.
So there's a lot of energy and generosity.
Well, thank you, Michael. And guys, again, go to Consider It Done if you want to see about the his program coming up in Atlanta. So thanks very much. We wish you all a safe and happy weekend.
Take care, everybody.
Michael, hang on.
Yeah, hang in there. They're dropping off here at this point.
The format was so much more energizing than a canned presentation. It was just so much better.
Was it too many people for you?
If we could have like 12 people asking questions at the same time next time, that would be even better. it was
fast, doesn't it?
It was a little bit like hot seat, a little bit.
It was fast.
Yeah.
Shark Tank here. Shark Tank.
It was a lot of fun. Great questions. Great questions from you and great questions from the audience. They were knowledgeable questions. That was great.
Yeah,
the only thing that we made a mistake of is we didn't schedule this for 4.5 hours with a to follow. It's just like, I ran out of ink. Literally. I took so many pages of notes, and I'm glad we recorded this because I'm sure I forget what half of what we talked about.
What was the biggest aha, do you think?
I think it moved me, and I think it did here. We're good at sales. We're good at the referral process. We have referral partners, but we always coach, ask for the referral, ask for that. And that is the way you explain it. That's a aha moment. That's a change and understanding the why behind it. I think that, to me, that's something that guys hear and they scratch their head, then they start to get it. You start to unearth it. And so I think that created the people want to learn more. That's the seeking the more education.
Yep. Yeah, let them know that referrals are important. You're not asking them. Absolutely.
Yeah, love it. Yeah.
And even, not that they're just important, but they're everything. Like, we are a referral-based business. Everything we do, and every decision that we make as a company is, will it generate more referrals? And communicating with people, right? And saying, hey, listen, did the service we provide, is it referable, right? Is it not asking for referrals, but just saying, hey, listen, is it worth referring us based on what you've experienced? And just having a conversation around it versus asking for referrals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you earned it.
I like the 3 Cs of referability was powerful as I look at my notes. You know, I think the other thing is just the concept of the event. You know, the event, there's a mastery. So you talked about failures in some of your events, but the reality of that is that those are probably because those people haven't mastered quite a few things. I think if someone's got general mastery in how they communicate, what the character is, if they're likable, referable, and they put an event together that actually has the 3 pieces to it, the entertainment piece to it, the educational to it, right? And the charitable component, I think that's a win.
Yeah.
I can see how we can, you know, you started with an event. What kept you, what made you want to book was the housewarming.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an event.
Yep, it is. Housewarming party is leads to a one-on-one in a lot of cases, which is an interview to see if I want to invite them to my event. And that's the process. I go to other people's circle, and then I learn who I want to be in my circle, and then I invite them to my circle, and my circle is full of powerful people, and it's protected. I literally protect my circle, and everybody knows that. So they know when they come in, they look around, there's a level of respect to it.
Michael, are you, just a couple things, what is the general cost of the 14th, 15th, 16th of November? What's the cost?
You may have, can everybody go on mute? I could not hear that very well, sorry.
You want to know what the cost of your event was?
So, sorry. Normally it's $997 to go as an ambassador, and you get all the perks and things. But I think right now that we have a huge special on because we just did something for our catalyst. So I think if they actually go to there to check out, I think it's like $297 right now.
Really? For the 3 days?
Which is just absurd. I mean, that's 2.5 days, and they're going to walk out with if this isn't the best training book for an event they've been to, I'll give them their money back. I mean, it is literally they walk out with a 52-week plan, not just like written and scribbles it's literally a 52-week plan, and then each week has its own page. So they have this thing on their desk for the entire next year, and they know exactly what to do during that week to maximize their referrals. That's their takeaway. So
that's awesome. Well, I first of all, thank you. This was a very powerful day for all of us, and I think that we need a lot of follow up to do after this with you, just because I think that, you know, I can tell from Dave and Mark and Craig and Doug is that, you know, we had a lot of homework to do ourselves and really engage in this process, because it is cultural to us. It's kind of center based with what we actually do. A lot of this we do these things. So we are, I'm fired up. I'm fired up. I think the energy level was awesome, and I think we can do a lot of things with you in the future. And this was fantastic. I can't think.
Yeah, I've been asked. I've gotten 3 texts already asking how much the event was. Also, if it's going to be streaming, which I'm not sure if that.
Absolutely
okay,
not.
I figured not.
It's a live event. We do. In fact, part of our value proposition is no live stream. You've got to experience this live. So yeah. Sorry.
I figured that was going to be your answer.
Yeah, and I know we've got a lot of California people that have been on and things like that. But it's a direct flight from LAX to Delta or San Diego to Atlanta. It's worth that direct flight to make it happen. So we want people there who want to be there. That's my whole thing. I do not chase anything. I don't chase business. I only attract. If they're coming towards me, then I'm going to give them a ton of value, you know?
Perfect. Excellent. Well, we really appreciate it, my friend. We had, and I will tell you, we had lot of activity from the field with questions, unlike we've had pretty much on anyone we've ever have had. So well done, and again, thanks from the bottom of our heart. Good stuff. We will be we'll be promoting your conference and your book as well, and thanks for being here. It was awesome, Dave.
Thank you, Michael.
Thanks, Michael.
Michael, last question. Is there anything that we can do for you today?
Referrals, right?
Okay.
So when you come across someone that you think should go to the conference, do me a favor and send them to referralmasterysummit.com. Or another thing to maybe think about is take this show on the road. You know, back in the prospect days, you did something with Todd Duncan, and we've done things with Wells Fargo and Movement and Fairway, who have done these series of events that were very, very successful. And I'd love to maybe chat about what does that look like, and what would it look like if you made money on every single one of those. And I don't mean made referrals or got referrals. I mean, like, what if we could set up a way where you make money, right? You literally, it's a profit center, but you also get the referrals and leads from the event.
You're singing to the choir. I just saw Doug Long's, he's already levitating.
Yeah, we're doing it.
We're in.
By the way, I'm the closest to you too, but we're in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, not. We're all over Orlando. We'd love to do Orlando. Yeah.
We're in.
Right.
Thanks again, Michael.
Absolutely. Thanks, everybody. I'll sign off now. So you.
Take care.
Thanks. Appreciate it.